Mars needs Japanese knotweed. Japanese knotweed turns volcanic lava into soil and forest areas. Japanese knotweed saves trees and makes beautiful paper. Japanese knotweed saved my life.
Japanese knotweed is a pioneer on lava. It's one of the first plants, if not the first plant, that can get on to volcanic lava and start the process of turning it into soil and hastening the arrival of forest.
Yeah.
So the way rather than the old kind of way of looking at ecological succession as the kind of the initial pioneer plants coming in, and then progressively they're out-competed by wave after wave of more suited, fit plants until you've got forest or woodland back in that location. The pioneer plants like knotweed and Himalayan balsam are kind of preparing the way for those aspects of themselves as one macro vegetal system that can arrive and fully manifest all that vegetation can be in that location.
I was badly besold on our house and garden, but I've managed to turn the negative of having Japanese knotweed in the garden into a very powerful positive. Here is our fantastic, beautiful organic garden. This is our patio garden back in probably around 2005. I think this was around my daughter's christening. So as you can see, there is no green wall there, but I think I had passion flower or something growing up the wall, and it created a beautiful green wall where the birds nested in there. The blackbirds nested in the wall, the robins nested in the wall, and they just loved it. Unfortunately, I had to take the wall down because I didn't realise it was actually going into next door's garage. So I just found that out. So I want to regrow it, but of course keep it under control so it doesn't go over to their garage, because that's not fair on them. Here's another picture of our patio. I mean, I just love the wild, natural aspect of our garden. The conifers have sadly gone now. They've been taken down. That's a long story. If you guys have got trees in your garden, they're so good for keeping the heat in. They keep your bills down. So look into that, guys. If you want to keep your heating bills down, and we sure as heck do, don't we, really, right now, look into how trees keep the heat in your garden and protect your house so you don't need to use as much heat. Here you can see a beautiful picture our daughter Melody took. It's of the robin that was nesting in the garden on the patio wall, and the blackbird as well. Last year, because they couldn't nest on the green wall, the blackbirds actually nested in my hanging basket. It was so cute. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they love us so much. It's so nice to have that experience. Here's a video of the bird bath, our natural bird bath. It's a plant pot that got waterlogged, and the birds started bathing in it. So now something's happened to it, it's broken, so I put like a garden saucer in there so they can still go in there to bathe, and they love it. They love it that it's so natural around there. It's natural water for them to bathe in, and it's quite secluded there for them. Here's a photograph of the bumblebee that I saved in our garden. I gave him a little leaf, I put him onto the table, and I put some watered down honey onto the leaf, and he got his strength back up and he flew away, and it was such a remarkable sight to see. I just love bees. People are scared of bees, but they don't hurt you unless you're like flapping your arms around and saying like, get away from me or whatever. If you just stand still, close your eyes, close your mouth, just let them sort of, acknowledge that you're not a flower or something else, and they just fly away and they'll leave you alone. That's what I always told my daughter to do this. So she always did that. She said she hasn't got a fear of bees, and I think that's so important. When I was a little girl, my sister had a bee buzzing around her, and of course I didn't know this. So I was trying to protect her. So I was flapping my arms around, and I got stung, and that poor bee died. And I look back at that and I think, I've learnt my lesson. I won't do that again. I'm going to do something different, and that's why, you know, I love bees so much, and I just want to protect them. Last year, 2022, something remarkable happened. I found that bees were nesting in our patio wall beside our house. So exciting to watch them going to and fro. Oh my gosh. So I've got little bits of clips of the bees buzzing around and yeah, making their home. And I feel really privileged that they've made their home near our house and they feel safe near us. Hi guys, it's Sharon here from Butterfly Lullaby. The date is the 20th of January 2023. Today I've got some really exciting news for you guys. If you live in the UK, you're going to see a lot of propaganda about Japanese knotweed, and they don't actually tell you about the good stuff. So here's the good stuff. I'm not going to tell you about the bad stuff because you already know that. You need to know about the good stuff. So here's the website here from a Japanese knotweed removal company in the UK that have kindly added my Japanese knotweed smoothie recipe, well, one of them, one of many, and my website, which has got lots and lots of research about Japanese knotweed and its benefits. So thank you, TCM. Thank you so much. Here's a Japanese knotweed removal company that states, once the stems have dried out, they die and cannot regenerate. So that's the Japanese knotweed stems. They do not regenerate once they've dried out. Therefore, you do not need to pay loads of money to go and get rid of this plant from your garden. As long as it's got no root attached to it, of course, because the root is the problem. Wildlife friendly UK councils are invested in pesticide manufacturers via pension funds. I'll add the link in the description below, and it's by iNews. So check that out and have a good read of that, because now when you type this in the search engines, this doesn't come up. They don't want you to see it. So yeah, make sure you do your research. If Japanese knotweed is such a terrible, dreadful plant, why on earth would National Library of Medicine be growing this plant on Prince Edward Island as a source of resveratrol? Resveratrol is anti-aging, and it's been used in the cosmetic industry here in the UK for over a decade. I wrote to my MP, Tonya Antoniazzi, and told her about how I cured my health with Japanese knotweed. I had asthma for 48 years. I struggled to breathe. In my day, I was forced to breathe in cigarette smoke because doctors, scientists, the media and government all promoted smoking as harmless. Now, my family and other people are educated about how bad smoking is and how it affects other people. They smoke outside. They kindly smoke outside. This shows you how very important it is to educate people. And when people in power can use education against others, it's not a good thing. Where is the apology from the government and the media and the scientists and the doctors for all the people harmed by cigarette smoke, by having to sit in rooms full of cigarette smoke? I worked in a pub and had to inhale this stuff. And, you know, my asthma was so bad back then. Now they're promoting vaping. That's the next bad thing. I mean, my poor daughter's asthmatic, and she has to actually, you know, stand at a bus stop sometimes and inhale that muck. You know, all we want to do, if people want to do that, if they want to smoke or vape, I've got nothing against that, but please do it in an environment that doesn't affect other people. You know, we have a right to breathe clean air, especially for people that have struggled to breathe and are fighting to breathe. They deserve clean, fresh air. Thank you. And by the way, Tonya Antoniazzo, sorry I can't say her name, it's my dyslexia, but she's such a lovely, kind person. I believe she can't do everything to help with all the complaints I have, because powers that be prevent this. I really believe that. But she's seen my health records, and I really appreciate her writing to the health minister and supporting me on this. Here's some Japanese knotweed paper that I've created from the Japanese knotweed in the garden that I was missold on. Turning that negative into a positive, guys. And so we've got fly high, be happy and dream big. These are the pollinators that I've actually drawn on the Japanese knotweed paper. So I've actually ordered some Japanese knotweed paper from overseas. This company here, these lovely people, are turning the negative into a positive by creating lots of Japanese knotweed paper on a commercial level. They've created two types of paper. One's quite flimsy and the other one's a bit thicker, a bit more like card, but not like the card that I've created. And they've sent me some samples, so I ordered some. I loved it. I ordered some, so I'm hoping to draw some pollinators on the Japanese knotweed paper and paint some on the card. So there's two types of paper there. I would love artists to support us and you know, help draw in this paper. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get funding. That's a long story, but I have actually purchased some of the Japanese knotweed paper from overseas. So if you'd like to try some out, and just maybe, you know, just try and save our pollinators and our health by doing some art, you know, do get in contact with me. Leave me a comment below. But if I can get funding, I will pay artists. Of course I will. But, you know, it's whether you get funding. I mean, let's face it, artists don't get funding in the UK. So getting this project funded in the UK is going to be, yeah, I don't see it happening. Not when they're using pesticides on Japanese knotweed to pay for pensions with the councils. But who knows, I may get funding overseas. So, yeah, keep dreaming. That's the idea. Here's a certificate that I've actually received from the company that makes Japanese knotweed paper overseas on a commercial level. And it reads, by using this tree-free paper, you foster sustainable paper alternatives and contribute to, I'm not sure how you say the word, trajanase. So forgive me for that. I'm not sure how you say the company name, but it's TRAJNAS, pioneering efforts in creating unexpected companionships among people and invasive plants. So that's fantastic, isn't it? So yeah, by actually using Japanese knotweed paper, you're saving trees, and we're supposed to be saving trees, aren't we, guys? So, you know, why is the government not using taxpayers' money to support this? This is the question. Here's my Japanese knotweed soap project. Now, with the bee soaps, I want to trade for food to feed poor families and stop pesticides on Japanese knotweed, protecting pollinators, lung health and the earth. And yeah, that's my dream, really. And then for the butterfly soaps, I want to promote child and family friendly music, art and film by selling these. And for the leaf soaps, educate people about herbal plants. And I've got a friend that's a herbalist in the USA that can help me with this. So yeah, that's the dream. The problem I've got is that my sink in the kitchen is literally sinking. You have to laugh, otherwise you cry. Yeah, the kitchen is very run down. I'm only a working class mum, so yeah, we haven't got the money to fix it right now. The church did say that I could create these soaps in the church kitchen. The problem I've got is because of all the propaganda with this plant, even though the dried dead stalks that I use for the soap do not regenerate, you know, the church feels that it has to protect the building because of all the propaganda, basically. I need somebody, a specialist, an expert, probably from overseas, not from the UK, that can actually speak out and say, yeah, this is a load of propaganda, it doesn't regenerate, and yeah, you're safe to use it in the kitchen or in any building, actually, because it's not going to harm the building because it's dead. So that's what I need. So any experts out there overseas, I need you guys. Please help me. Send me a letter. I'll put the details below where you can contact me. I'd love to hear from you. So next is one of my wonderful reviews on my soaps, because, you know, I actually gave a soap to one of my friends who does massage, and she said, Sharon, feel my arm, feel my hands, they're so soft, thank you for the soap. So she loved the soap. And also my friend who's an ex-nurse has left me this beautiful write-up about what she thinks about the soap, and she loves it too. Yeah, you know, if people want to try the soap, I don't know how to do it at the moment, because we've paid, my partner kindly paid £180 to get the soap tested. I've been using it for years and I love it because it is so soft on my skin compared to other soaps. Here are some Japanese knotweed uses. I make a Japanese knotweed face oil that I've used for a long time, and I love this because it is so natural and organic, and it gives me a nice little glow. It gives me a bit of a tan because my face is so white, so I get a nice little tan going on. I don't need foundation. And it's got resveratrol in it, Japanese knotweed, so it's anti-aging, which Oxford Bio have confirmed, and that's on my Butterfly Lullaby blog, which I'll put a link below so you can read all about that. Also, of course, I make my Japanese knotweed soaps, which I hope to do, you know, once we get the kitchen sorted out, or I get support where I can make it somewhere else. That'd be lovely. I also have a natural bath soak, and when I actually sprained, I didn't sprain, I pulled a muscle in my shoulder. This is hilarious because, you know, I used to do Kempo martial arts when I was younger, and I was sort of like showing off, was doing this game thing where you have to, it's just like a computer game thing, we have to sort of punch in reality, and of course I was punching too hard and I ended up ripping my muscle. I was in agony. So anyway, I used this, I sort of blended up the Japanese knotweed stalks, sieved it so there's no bits, and I just relaxed in a beautiful, warm, natural bath full of nature, and it was absolutely stunning. I can't recommend it enough. And I just massaged my shoulder and it just really gave me relief. Can't recommend it enough. Maybe one day the UK will wake up, people will wake up to it. But also smoothies. I have a Japanese knotweed smoothie every day that keeps the phlegm off my lungs. My daughter keeps forgetting to drink her, so she drink a little bit and then she doesn't drink it all, so her asthma's not doing too good at the moment. I need to keep on at her to drink the smoothie, so her asthma improves, because when she was drinking it, her asthma had improved a lot. She didn't need the inhaler, and only needed it now and again when she was running and the cold hit her chest, if you know what I mean. So anyway, watch this space on that. Ice cubes, resveratrol ice cubes with distilled water. I believe that we could actually create these and they'd be good for your health. Itadori tea, which is Japanese knotweed green tea. A lot of, you know, Japanese people drink that. And if you look at the Japanese knotweed health compared to ours, you'll see that they're a lot healthier than us. Resveratrol, of course, which is anti-aging. Honey, overseas in America, they've won a honey award with Japanese knotweed. The Japanese knotweed bamboo honey is a lot different to normal honey. It's got a different texture, different taste. So I'm hoping to, even though I don't like the idea of using honey because of the bees, but I just want to prove that, you know, how the bees love this plant. So I might actually order some of the honey so that people can, you know, see the colour of it and maybe have a taste. Resveratrol jam, you know, you can make jam with this Japanese knotweed. Chutney, you know, I've made pies, like, you know, because it's like a rhubarb, but it's got a different taste to rhubarb, but they claim it's like a rhubarb. It is very tasty, actually, you know, it's sort of like pie, where you've sort of like used butter and sugar, etc. Green electricity, I believe that you can make, I mean, although they're saying you can't, I suppose it's because it only grows for half the year, that's a problem. But when it does grow, it grows very fast. So I think there could be a window there to create electricity with that. Paper, of course, you can make with Japanese knotweed. Overseas they're making bamboo clothing, and I believe that because Japanese knotweed is a bamboo, you could do that as well here. If we did that here in the UK or overseas. Flute making, you can make a Japanese knotweed flute. And the videos on there, just check out YouTube, they're brilliant. It's absolutely amazing. And Lego bricks, you know, they're making what are they using? Sugarcane. They're making sugarcane. Well, they're creating bricks out of sugarcane. So why not Japanese knotweed? Because it's a cane as well. So there's lots of things you can do with this plant. I think that we just need to start looking at the positives, which are many. Because, you know, if you forage for this plant, you know, every time you cut down a plant, it stops the regrowth and it stops growing so quickly. It's only because councils have let it grow. That's the real reason, or homeowners are too scared rather to cut it down. So that's why it keeps growing. So yeah, just need to rethink about it really. And you know, anything's better than pesticides, guys. Pesticides destroy the lung health, your soil, your water supply, your pollinators. You know, bad for your children's health when they're playing out in the garden, and your pets. So we really need to rethink using this stuff, pesticides, and try and be, you know, friendlier to the planet, etc. Here's a poem I wrote based on Japanese knotweed, my friend, in my garden. It's the only good thing about this property is Japanese knotweed, because it's cured my asthma. So I love this plant. Still I rise. Cut me down, poison me with lies, but still I rise, bigger and stronger, for I'm your medicine, your healer, your friend. Listen to nature and let's rise together. Here's our patio area. As you can see, there's no Japanese knotweed anywhere in the patio because it's all right down the back garden where it's been for 20 years. And we hope to grow the green wall again for the robins and the blackbirds so that they can nest near the house again. And if you can do that for your little birdies, they'd love you for it. Here's some more pictures of the patio. I love the lighting there. It's absolutely beautiful. And then here's the patio again. As you can see, there's no Japanese knotweed at all in the patio area. I'm going to add some video of the main garden, which I took last year in 2022, so we've had the garden for 19 years. This year, 2023, we've had the garden for 20 years. Sure has flown by. So I'm going to leave you with a song our daughter created called Robin. It's a beautiful song. And then I'm going to add a video of our garden. We had it for about 17 years, and it shows you, you know, I walk through and I show you the grounds, etc. There's no Japanese knotweed anywhere where it shouldn't be. So yeah, enjoy, and thank you for watching. Sunflowers. Now I'm just going to take you down to the back garden. As you can see, look, it's not overgrown there on the grass with knotweed. You know, all you have to do is cut it down. They do this in America. They just cut the grass and the knotweed goes. And my dad is an ex-gardener for the council, and he said, you know, if you keep cutting something down, it's going to go. It doesn't matter what plant it is. So there's some of the knotweed that I've kept there to clean the soil from all the toxins. So there's my next door neighbour's garden. That's where the knotweed was growing there, and you can see bluebells. So I've just easily controlled that area there. I'm keeping it away from the fence. I was sort of sold on the house. They didn't tell us about the blocked off stream. I think I can do something with this stream. So anyway, there's that ditch there to stop the water coming down the garden. And yeah, so I mean, I could get rid of all this knotweed easily if I wanted to, just cut it all down. But I don't want to, because it cleans the soil, and I want clean soil. I want to be able to grow organic foods in this garden. I want to be able to forage in this garden again, because it's so good for your health. I mean, I used to put this in smoothies, and my bones were in really good health back then, and they've deteriorated since I've not been able to do this. But I'm determined to get my health back on track again. So anyway, I thought I'd show you that clip. So yeah, I've lived here 17 years, and you know, you'd think after 17 years that knotweed would be right at the front of the garden if it's that bad, and it obviously isn't. So I'd love to hear your comments, and I want to make new knotweed friends. You know, I've got my lovely American knotweed friend over in the USA, and she's growing knotweed in her garden now for herbal medicines, smoothies, food, etc. So the previous video was of me walking through the back garden. I've got two separate gardens. The main garden, which I showed you with the robin song, and then the back garden, which is more of a foresty area where the Japanese knotweed lives, and it's not moved. You know, we've lived here 20 years now, and it's not moved from that back garden to the main garden, so it can be controlled easily. And yeah, so I've turned that negative into a powerful positive, and I hope that people watch this, share this video. I did take that video of the back garden back in 2017. I'm going to make a new video in 2023 once the flowers start coming out, etc., so you can see the whole garden again, and that you know, Japanese knotweed isn't a problem. So yeah, I'd love to hear your comments. Please do leave me comments below. And I just want to say that, you know, in the UK, they're so anti the newspapers, the government, you know, and people just so easily taken in on this. They don't listen to any of the good sides of Japanese knotweed because they're not told about it. They're only told about the bad sides, and the bad sides, I feel, can be controlled easily, really easily. I mean, if I've lived here for 20 years and it's still not, you know, attacking our main garden, it just proves it's not such a big problem as they make out it is. And it's the councils that need to cut down the knotweed and forage for it, make paper out of it, etc., and just keep it under control that way. And, you know, my great-grandfather was a Euro-Asian, so I find it really insulting that the UK and, you know, all this propaganda is allowed to take place because, you know, they're calling it, the Japanese knotweed, the foreign invader. You know, that's really quite insulting when it's a good herbal plant that's cured my asthma. And when you've got a plant like a British plant that, what's it called? The creeping buttercup that I've got in the garden that's an absolute nightmare. We had to call the vets because the dog ate the creeping buttercup, which is toxic, by the way. And Japanese knotweed is a food, so it's a valuable plant. So we paid £50 to the vets just to find out that, yeah, creeping buttercup is not good for dogs. So, you know, that's really invasive. We're talking about that plant has got everywhere in the garden. It's got the front garden, the back garden, everywhere. It's really hard to get rid of. So, you know, I think we really need to rethink what is an invasive plant. And reevaluate that, really. So yeah, my great-grandfather was a Euro-Asian. I'm proud of the history of, you know, my nan was part Burmese, French and English. I'm very, very honoured to have mixed blood and have an open mind to different nationalities and cultures. I think we need to be better educated here in the UK and to actually see the good side of wild plants and stop calling them weeds. And if you'd like to get involved with my Japanese knotweed project and the art project, please do get in contact. I'd love to hear from you. I'll leave my details below. So, yeah, look forward to hearing from you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.